K-pop world that is always filled with hot news and wild speculation. A surprising confession came from one of BTS members who has been known as a very closed figure, kimtaehyung. However, what makes this even more surprising are the statements related to one of the most controversial moments in the history of this legendary group. Yes, the thing in question is Jungkook's meet with a scalper who had shocked the ARMY world some time ago. What really happened behind that meeting? Why did Jungkook get involved with a figure who has always been synonymous with the black world? And how did Taehyung manage to calm thousands and even millions of ARMY hearts who were worried about the news? All of those answers were finally revealed in an exclusive interview that Taehyung just revealed first. Many thought that Jungkook was involved in a big scandal. Various speculations and conspiracy theories emerged that made ARMY anxious. Some even thought that the meeting was related to Jungkook's personal affairs, which could damage the group's image, however. Surprises and very logical explanations. Everything begins to unfold when Jungkook's meeting with his wife's Taeyung first became public. The K-pop world was rocked by the news, and many thought there was something bigger going on behind the scenes, something that loyal and curious fans couldn't understand. ARMY, who was known to be very concerned about the personal lives of BTS members, immediately wondered if this was a sign of a big problem in the group. However, no one expected that the key to all the questions was with Taehyung in front of the journalists. With his trademark smile that hides a variety of emotions, Taehyung gave an explanation that not only clarified the situation, but also provided a deeper insight into the bond that exists between them. To be honest, it all started with Jungkook's good intentions to help the people he loves. Taehyung explained in a calm but warm voice, Jungkook always tries to protect those closest to him, even if it means he has to get involved in something that seems out of the ordinary. He met his wife's touts because there was a personal problem. He wanted to help solve all of this has to do with something very personal, and he just wants to make sure everything is okay. Jungkook, known for his empathetic personality and strong desire to help others, apparently never intended to add to the fuss. What he does is very far from the negative impression the media gives explains in detail how Jungkook actually acts as a protector in complicated situations. It is not the scalper who is the goal, but the person who is involved in the scalper. Jungkook just wants to solve the problem in a way that doesn't involve a lot of people. I know a lot of people might be different. This is a private matter that shouldn't be made public junk. Cook just wants to keep everyone he cares about from getting in trouble. As soon as he sees a potential problem, he tries to handle it in a way that he deems appropriate, to explain and adding that Jungkook's actions were based on a great sense of responsibility towards those around him. As time went on, speculation about Jungkook's meeting with the broker continued to grow, even causing considerable controversy. Some have begun to question whether Jungkook has violated boundaries or even engaged in a legal business. However, for Taehyung and the other BTS members, it was just a baseless misconception. Like I said, it was just a misunderstanding. Jungkook is a very careful person. He will not get involved in anything that could damage him or our group. All of these relate to very sensitive personal matters. I want the ARMY to know that they have nothing to worry about. Team continued among the ARMY. Of course, many felt an emergency, but after hearing Taehyung's explanation, many were relieved that love and support for Jungkook remains unwavering. ARMY knows very well that every member of BTS always tries to do their best, and they will not let anything disturb the harmony of the group. Not only did Taehyung give a rational explanation, but in the interview, he also displayed an emotional side that is rarely seen by the public, seeing how Taehyung spoke so soulfully, explaining how he supported Jungkook's decision. Even though the outside world didn't understand, added weight to the statement. This is our family, and every member of the family always wants the best for each other, she said in a voice that almost sounded shaky. Taehyung revealed that he felt the tension that arose as a result of the event and how it made him feel anxious about the reaction from fans. However, he also knows that ARMY will always stand with BTS regardless of what happens. There are a lot of things you can't tell. You but this, they need to keep a strong relationship with the army, and that is a top priority. The army's trust established over the years cannot be shaken by a misinterpretation or rumor. Town insists that they always try to stay true to their fans, showing what they can share, but also maintaining privacy. Very personal matters. We never ask them to be idols, nor do we notice this much. We just want to live our lives and careers in the best way possible. And you guys, the army, are the reason we can keep going. We don't want to disappoint you. Taehyung added gratefully that as the years go by, many are beginning to realize that the life of a K-pop idol is indeed full of challenges and pressures unseen by the public. Oftentimes, the decisions taken by BTS members are not fully understood by fans. And this is one of those moments where the public must learn to make room for their privacy and personal decisions. Although the K-pop world greatly admires BTS's sincerity and openness, there are times when they have to face the fact that they also have boundaries that should not be violated, that Ian and Jungkook's meeting with his wife's TS was not as big of a scandal as many imagined. It was just one of the many challenges they had to face in living their career full of media. Spotlight, of course, fans are entitled to feel anxious and wonder, but as true fans, they must also learn to allow BTS members the space to make their own decisions. As Taehyung emphasizes, what happens behind the scenes is often much more complicated than it seems on the surface, and sometimes the decisions made are understandable only to those directly involved in the situation. Taehyung ended his interview with a very emotional message to the fans. "We will never be able to repay you all the love, but we promise to keep working hard and give you all the best. Don't let rumors or speculation undermine the trust you have placed in us. We will always be there for you. And we know you will always be there for us." With those words, Taehyung not only explained the situation that has warmed the K-pop world, but also reaffirmed the strong bond that exists between BTS and ARMY. Although the entertainment world is often full of controversies and conflicting news, one thing is for sure, that BTS remains an example of sincerity, hard work, and relentless dedication. This incident may be one chapter in their long journey, but it also reminds us all that even idols are human beings who have weaknesses, emotions, and personal struggles that must be faced wisely now. After taking HK explanation, there was no longer any reason to doubt Jungkook's integrity. And more importantly, there was no longer any reason for the ARMY to feel divided. BTS's extended family remains steadfast, and together they will continue to face the challenges that come one after another